Greetings, YouTubers and Strive members. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, I will be discussing how to create a tenant retention plan. So my last video, I talked about professional tenants. Wasn't really a great topic to talk about. But today, I want to talk about great tenants and how to keep great tenants, creating a great tenant retention plan. Before I get started, again, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Detra Harris, and I am the Managing Director for Strive Wealth Builders. We are a business club for real estate investors, similar to a RIA, which you can find in every state. We are located in Albany, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. Please visit our website at strivewealthbuilders.com. There's a lot of information there about our network, about our club, and how you can join as a member at no cost. Please join us. So what is a tenant retention plan? Simple. How to prevent your tenants from moving out. That's a retention plan. You want to get your tenants to live in your community for as long as possible. Now, I'm going to discuss some of the important factors to doing that, but let's discuss first, why is this important? Well, there's a few reasons why this is important. Number one reason is to avoid vacancy loss. Now, if you don't have a tenant living in that apartment, then you're not collecting rent. So that means you have a vacancy loss, and we don't like losing money, do we? Another reason is unit turns. So when the tenant moves out, you have to turn that unit. We call it make ready. And you have to get that unit prepared for the next tenant, which may be replacing carpets, painting. You may have to do a few repairs in there, replace some appliances and so on. So that's very costly, and that's going to cost you money. Not only will that cost you money, but you will also have a downtime, right? So because no one's living there while you're doing your unit turns. So one of our standards for unit turns is we turn that unit in 5 days if that's possible, if it's just a standard unit turn. The other reason why that you want to have a great retention plan is concessions. A lot of times when that unit is ready to rent and now you have to put it on the market, one of the things you should know is your competition in the area and how much are they charging for rents. A lot of times if you have too much competition, then you have to offer concession. That may mean $200, $300 off your first month's rent. Some management companies and owners, they may have a concession of I'll buy you a brand new TV when you move in, or some other type of concession for move-in concession. So all of these things are reasons why you should have a great tenant retention plan, because that helps your cash flow keep flowing. So let's discuss some of the ways and some of the key factors that you can build into your retention plan. One is excellent communication with your tenants. So that means as a management company or landlord, if you're self-managing, you should be available for your tenants when they call you, when they have issues, when they have complaints. You should be on it. Make sure that they are a priority, and you want your tenants to feel as if they are a priority. Now, we have to multitask as landlords, as property owners, so it can get very challenging to do that. But one of the things, you want to have a great system in place to prioritize your tenants' maintenance requests and their requests, in terms of maybe they're having an issue with a neighbor, maybe they have some other type of issue. You want to make sure you have great communication. One of the things that I hear most often from tenants is poor property management. And that's why they usually move at the end of their lease. So we want to keep them in their home for as long as possible. Good communication is vital. Next, you want to make sure that your property is clean and well maintained. No one wants to live in filth. No one wants to come home after a long day at work, or from even volunteering, or maybe they could be retired. They don't want to walk around the community and around their premises if the property is not well maintained and is dirty. So make sure that you have great curb appeal, and also make sure that you have sufficient janitorial services. And more importantly, inside of the units, make sure you get your repairs done timely. Now, this not only benefits the tenant, but it helps you to maintain your value in your property. You may decide to refinance or sell it sometime down the line, and you want to make sure that your property is well maintained. Now, another way and another incentive is lease renewals. Want to make sure that when the term is coming up at the end of their lease, you want to give them a incentive to remain in that unit and enter into another lease, or perhaps it's going month to month. And I've had some challenges with month to month versus leases. Maybe I'll talk about that at another time in another video. But you want to give incentives for renewing the lease. Sometimes that means you will not raise the rents, but by 2% or 3%, and that's an incentive. Or there's other incentives that we can talk about at a later time that that may be beneficial for your tenants to stay and remain in the apartment and not give you a 30-day notice to move. So those are some of the things. Now, we also want to make sure that your rents are affordable and competitive in the market. So if you don't want to charge too much and you're not competitive, because tenants, believe me, they are shopping. You want to know what your competition around your area, what are they offering? What amenities are they offering? Do they have swimming pools? Do they have fitness centers? Do they have uh, 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 all parks, and pet friendly, and all of these different things? You want to know what your competitors are doing so you can be competitive. And you want to hopefully keep your rents below market rate, to make your units attractive to those renters. They can stay there and they can remain there. And if you have a vacancy, then you can attract tenants to your property. Now, again, you want to be flexible. This is really important, especially under the pandemic. Now, I've had a lot of situations with tenants under the COVID-19 guidelines in terms of meeting payment plan requests, and that's been challenging, especially for landlords that don't have many properties in their portfolio. That can be really challenging. But I really, really suggest that you remain flexible, because life changes. And if you have a tenant that's a great tenant, pays rent on time, if headaches, in other words, then why not work with them if you can on payment arrangements if they fall into a hardship or have hard times, because everyone goes through hard times. Don't you wish you had someone there to help you when you have gone through a hard time, possibly in your life? And most of us have rented apartments or homes at some point in our lives. And so we kind of know what the drill is and being on the other side of the fence. So those are some of the things that I suggest when you are creating your tenant retention plan. Lastly, have a little fun with your tenants. So one of the things we do is we give barbecue once a year in the summertime for it. So we want to treat have some fun. Sometimes we have competitions where the first tenant that pays rent on time, they get $100 off their next month's rent. So you can get really creative with that. We have ice cream days for some of the kids at some of our communities. So there's a lot of ways that you can have fun with your tenants. And don't be shy to listen to your tenants when they're complaining. A lot of times we look at complainers as bad tenants. No, I'll give you a story before I go for today. One of my tenants, love her because she complains all the time and she pays her rent. But I tell you, she'll tell on everyone in the building. If I have a vendor that comes that doesn't do good work, she'll call me and she'll say, hey, they did a crappy job. Look what they did. She'll send me pictures. If I have a tenant that's not parking in the parking space, or if they're blocking, or some other tenants parking garage, she'll call me, hey, this tenant is doing XYZ and you need to take a look at this. Or if the garbage company didn't pick up the garbage on time, she'll call me for that. Love her. So don't always look at that tenant claims as a bad tenant. A lot of times they're those are the tenants that are great. So think about those things. I hope this was a great video for you and that you've learned some tips on how to create your tenant retention plan. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.